todos, yo soy Dana y bienvenidos a nuestro español. Hello everyone, this is Dana and welcome to our Spanish. In this video I'm going to talk about why you should write a diary in Spanish and how to write it. The first question, why? Number one, you build your own vocabulary. I don't know if sometimes you feel like you have a lot of words to learn or you have lists of vocabulary, but you're not sure if you're really going to use them, especially when you're a beginner. So that brings us to number two. You talk about your life. When you write a diary, you talk about what you do, what you like or don't like, your interest, your experiences, and your emotions. So you look for words and grammar that you actually need. So Spanish language starts to become part of you. And that brings us to number three, you keep engaged. If you have learned Spanish in a class or with a textbook, you probably have lost interest at some stage of your learning process. And even though textbook teaches useful grammar and vocabulary, you might not find it very interesting. But if you write your diary, you look for words and grammar that you actually need. And this is very useful for people that are learning alone but don't know what to learn or where to start. So I recommend you that first you talk about you, who you are, where you are, and what you do. So when you write your diary, you will notice that there are words that you will repeat a lot. And that's really good because that way they will stick in your mind easier. Now, what you should talk about? For beginners, I recommend that you talk about your daily routine, what you do every day. But for intermediate and advanced students, this might be a little boring after a week. So this is your diary and you can write about whatever you feel like. Talk about your feelings, what makes you happy or sad, your goals, your dreams. You can talk about the movie that you watched, the book that you're reading. You can talk about anything. Make this diary yours. Now, when? I would say every day. But of course we all have busy agendas, so at least make an effort to write it 4 times a week. It will really help. Now, how? In this section I'm going to talk about a little bit of grammar, but I'm sure it will be useful for you. The first thing that you have to write is the date. And in Spanish, we first write the day, then the month, and then the year. For example, 8 de marzo de 2017. Then you write your daily routine. Remember that we have to use the reflexive verbs. For example, hoy me levanté a las 7 de la mañana. Me lavé la cara, me cepillé los dientes, and so on. I will make a video about the reflexive verbs later, but meanwhile, you can check my post on Tumblr about this or a grammar webpage that I will show you in a while. When we write a diary, we use the past tense most of the times. But you probably know that we have 2 kinds of past tenses in Spanish. We have the pretérito indefinido and the pretérito imperfecto. I'm going to make a video explaining better these 2 tenses, but for now I will just give you 3 quick and useful tips. 1. We use the pretérito indefinido to talk about actions that already finished. For example, hoy comí espagueti. Ayer fui a la escuela. Hoy compré un regalo para mi amiga. And so on. Notice that comí, fui, and compré are pretérito indefinido. These are actions that already finished. Then we use the pretérito imperfecto when we describe places, people, and things in the past. For example, hoy fui al parque y estaba muy bonito y limpio. Hoy vi a mi novio y estaba muy guapo y olía muy bien. Hoy hablé con mi amiga porque estaba muy preocupada. So notice here that fui, vi, and hablé are in pretérito indefinido. That means because the action finished already. But estaba and olía are in imperfecto because we are describing the place and the people. But we only have an exception, and that is that you use the pretérito indefinido to describe things that you finished already. For example, hoy vi una película y estuvo muy divertida. Hoy terminé un libro y estuvo muy interesante. So here vi and terminé are indefinido because we finished the action already, but also estuvo it's indefinido because even if we are describing the movie and the book, we finished already. So that's why we use the indefinido. Now, we use the pretérito imperfecto when we talk about things that didn't finish. For example, la película estaba muy aburrida, por eso no la terminé de ver. No pude hacer mi tarea porque estaba muy difícil. Estaba caminando cuando comenzó a llover. So here the imperfecto is estaba because those are actions that we were doing but we couldn't finish. And terminé, pude, and comenzó are actions that finished. So that's why we use the indefinido. Now remember to also try different tenses in your diary. You can talk in present or the gerundio, which is the ing. You can talk about the future with the future tense or ir a. And you can also use the conditional, which is about things that we would like them to happen. So for example, you can write, hoy estuve muy ocupada y ahora estoy muy cansada. Lo bueno es que mañana es sábado y voy a poder dormir más tiempo. So here, estuve is past, estoy is present, and voy a poder is future. I will recommend you some web pages. For dictionaries, you can visit Word Reference or Spanish Dict. There you can also find the conjugation of all verbs and reflexive and non-reflexive verbs. For grammar, I really recommend Lingolia. There you can find the verb tense that you need very easily. And also Study Spanish, which I think they explain grammar in a very easy and simple way.
After you read your diary, I recommend you to read it out loud. That will reinforce the new things that you learned. If you're not sure how to pronounce a word, you can find it in forvo.com. I will leave all the links in the description box. Now, you will probably be asking, how do I know if what I wrote is correct? First of all, don't try to be perfect. Try to communicate. This diary can be something only just for you, but if you want to know how well you did or if people actually understand you, you can write it on lang8.com or italki.com.
These are web pages where native speakers can read and correct your writing, and you can also correct other people's diaries.
So that's it for today. I hope this was useful, and if you have any question, please leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I will make a video every week. So see you next time. Hasta luego!